I'm going to tell you something. If you pressed a button to streamline and simplify your homeschool, I'm going to guess there may be too much stuff in your house, or maybe there's too much stuff on your schedule. It just feels like there's too much. Is that you? If it is, I'll tell you straight up, it's not about streamlining and simplifying, isn't about getting rid of stuff. It's not about figuring out what the perfect schedule is or perfect routine is. I've learned it's about being intentional with your time, being purposeful in how you're living your life. So I invite you here. I'm going to share with you 5 points for you to consider as you streamline your routine, simplify your approach, and I'd say soar into your purposeful, well-lived homeschool life. If we haven't met, I'm Teresa. I'm Teresa Wiedrich, the homeschool life coach at www.capturingthecharmlife.com, and I'm so glad you're here. If you throw a comment down below, introduce yourself to me. If I could get past the screen, I would invite you to my backyard and we'd have a cup of tea and just sit and chat about what it's like to live this homeschool life on purpose. But today I'm going to share with you the 5 points that will help you to streamline your routines, simplify your homeschool approach, and soar towards that well-lived life. So very first thing I'm going to tell you, one of the most challenging points that I think as moms or as parents, we just find really difficult to overcome is perfectionism. And at the end of our homeschool days, we have to recognize that we're going to need to embrace imperfection, because perfect will never be your end goal. It might be your hope. It won't actually happen. You're going to have to give yourself a whole lot of grace, because this homeschool mom life is messy. Imperfectly perfect, I say, because you know what? Routines are messy. People are messy. Learning is messy, but this journey is awfully fun. Most days. Remember that perfection, though, isn't the goal. So if you want to release a little pressure to be flawless, extend grace to yourself. There's a reason I do a deep dive on self-compassion for homeschool moms in my coaching programs, because how you engage yourself is how you engage others. And I know that journey is one that I continue to grow in, and it's one that I'm helping other homeschool moms grow in as well. It's the more challenging one. It's easier to give a full stranger compassion. Sometimes I'd say it's easier to give our child, even when they're in a most challenging moment, it's easier to give them more compassion than it is to give ourselves compassion. But if we want to learn how to embrace imperfection and accept that our homeschool lives are perfectly imperfect, we need to embrace imperfection in ourselves. The second point that I'd share with you is to focus on joy in the moment, enjoying your moments of homeschooling. Or you could call it fun. You could try to pursue fun in most moments, even though, of course, every day won't be fun and there's lots of tasks and to-do things that are on your list. But if our goal is to be fully present, then we'll take in the giggles of our little kids as we're having those fleeting moments together. Everybody's happy with everybody. We're reading on the couch together and enjoying our time together. We'll really take it in. And we'll naturally tend to creating moments in our week, scheduling them, the ones that feel like they're those moments you wish you had on camera so you could share it with the grandparents, or moments that you want to put on Instagram and share with the world. Those moments are the ones that we live for as homeschool moms. And some days are filled with them. Some seasons are filled with them, and some not so much. But at the end of the day, we want to practice finding joy in the moment, because this is why we're doing what we're doing. These little people are why we're doing what we're doing. They really are the most important things. The third thing that I would offer you is to own your authenticity. I think it's time to break free from comparison and also societal expectations. And you would think that we were doing that because we're homeschooling, but that does not mean that we're going to be breaking out of that box. Sometimes we may have taken our kids from a system that we saw as requiring everyone to be homogenous in that system, and then discover that we move into the homeschool realm and try to become homogenous in that homeschool realm so that we can fit in and feel comfortable and create community. And you can still do that. But at the same time, you want to own who you really are, be authentic, and affirm other people to be who they really are, which of course is what we want for our kids. We want to embrace them uniquely. We want to embrace them unapologetically and authentically. So let's do it for ourselves. When we do that, we're less likely to include all sorts of extracurricular activities or buy certain curriculum purchases because somebody else said that they were good or cool or useful. Maybe we will sometimes be swayed by that, but we'll ask ourselves, is this really serving who I really am or who my child really is? So own your authenticity. That right there will cull a lot of activities on your to-do list. Ask yourself, are the things on my to-do list there because they really represent who I am? The fourth thing that I would share with you is kind of in the same vein or a cousin to owning your authenticity. It is to pursue your passions. What lights you up? Oftentimes, we as homeschool moms lean into child-led learning because we can see that it works. They learn more quickly. They're absorbing like sponges and they're loving their life when they're doing their things, doing those deep dives into interesting things. It could be anything off the charts. It could be anything outside of the box, anything we weren't expecting our child to do in school, or maybe somebody down the street is doing something, but my kiddo is doing this unique, cool thing. Well, we want to fuel them to do their passions. We also need to fuel ourselves to pursue our passions. When we do that, we feel more present. We feel like we're living our lives on purpose. And I would suggest to you that the more space you give yourself, whether that's 15 minutes a week, if you've got really young kids, then maybe 15 minutes a week feels like all you can do, or whether it's an hour a day, if you could find a way to craft 45 minutes, an hour a day for you, for your interests or your passions, or just experiment with passions if you don't even know what they are, then it's going to fuel you. It's going to give you more energy to be with your kids. It's going to fuel your creativity. You will begin to expand time into the things that feel the most important because they really light you up. So pursue your passions. And the fifth and final thought that I encourage you in to streamline your routines, simplify your approach, and soar towards that more purposeful homeschool mom life is to live with intention. You won't have enough time to do all the things that you want to do. I'm now at the end of my journey of homeschooling. I've homeschooled 4 kids over the last couple decades or so, and I have seen that there were so many books that I never did finish. Read alouds, if I turn the camera, you'll see them in behind me. So many books I wish I could have read with them. There are so many more experiences that I would have wanted to have with them. There's so many more things I would have wanted to pursue. We can't actually do it all. We can't do it all, but we should definitely not put it off for someday. So if there are things on your list that really don't feel that meaningful to you today, wait. Put those things off, not the ones that light you up, not the ones that make you feel like you're living your life on purpose. Because I've been doing this mothering thing, this family thing long enough to know dishes will be there tomorrow. So will laundry, so will the dirty floors, so will the expectations of other people. They will always be there. But you get to live your life on purpose today. And as I had a chat in the Homeschool Mama support group in Facebook, which you're welcome to go check out, in our Facebook group today, I had a chat with a mom who was saying that she wants to live her lives with intention. She wants to figure out how to do that. But she was doing that for her kids who are young, 8 and 6. And what a life they're going to live when they see that their mom is encouraging them to live their lives on purpose today. And so what are they going to do when they're 65? Are they going to wonder what they're going to do for the rest of their life? Or will they already have known at age 6 and then 9 and then 14 and then 22? I think we can do that for ourselves too. So I encourage you to live your life on purpose. So instead of saying, here are the 25 things you should go delete right now, the things you need to pull off your list, I'm not going to declare that. You get to decide whether something's important to you or whether it's not. You get to decide whether or not you include that on your to-do list, if it's meaningful to you or not. But ultimately, you get to decide how you're living your life on purpose, meaningfully, living in presence, time blocking your life so you can do the most passionate things so you can live your homeschool mom life on purpose. If you'd like to join me for the Reimagine Your Homeschool group coaching program, it starts next week. Just message me to learn more about this program. This is one of the elements we discuss in our 8-session program, and we're going to do a deep dive. We're going to go personal. It'll be one-on-one or 1 to maybe 4 or 5 people, where we're going to have deep chats about the things that matter the most to you so that we can move what is your homeschool experience now to a way more satisfying homeschool experience so you can reimagine your homeschool. I'd appreciate it if you would like the video, or better yet, share the video with someone you know would benefit, and subscribe to the channel. And I'd appreciate it too if you'd introduce yourself to me. Tell me in the comments what you're working on this year to streamline and simplify your homeschool. All I know is that over the course of this next week, I wish for you and your homeschool kids the ability to turn your homeschool challenges to your homeschool charms. You got this, girlfriend.